That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, Joseph and Randolph. Thank you. How is everyone doing? All right. Just taking a temperature of that. It's beautiful to see all of you. I wish you good evening. I say hello. I say buenas noches. And I greet you all in love and in appreciation for the support that you have given our graduates at this point. My name is Dr. Yolanda Sealey-Ruiz. I'm an associate professor in English education here at Teachers College, and I am so honored to be with all of you tonight. In an era where it is becoming more challenging for students of color to obtain a college degree, the feat that these amazing scholars have accomplished in earning their advanced degree must be applauded. And you, families and friends and loved ones, must be applauded as well. Do it, yeah. For without you, this group of what we're calling first-generation scholars would not have made it. In your hearts, you know this to be true because you can name the sacrifices that you have made for them at this point. They know this to be true because your love, your belief in them, the financial and the emotional support that you have given them has been the wind beneath their wings. A traditional saying of the Mapuche, Chile's largest indigenous group, tells us, just as today dawns, so the rest of the month will follow. And just as the first month, so will be the rest of the year. And in that spirit, so as all of you have gathered here to celebrate your amazing accomplishments, know that there will be more of you. You are the first generation, but with your example and the power of family and love in this room, you will not be the last to pass through the halls of TC and other institutions of higher education and leave with your advanced degrees. Jimmy Smits, an awesome actor who happens to be of Latino descent, he said that I am a firm believer in education, and I've worked very hard to tell young Latinos and others that they must go to college and that, if possible, they should pursue an advanced degree. I am convinced that education is the great equalizer. Indeed, education seeks to level the playing field and balance opportunities for those of us who always seem to be on the wrong side of inequity and inequality. Education, love, and sacrifice of family helped me to become the first generation PhD in my family. It is my goal, indeed, that I will not be the last in my family. So I salute you. I salute all of you graduates. I salute your families. I salute your friends. And I thank you in advance for all of the great work that you will carry out in the communities that call you to serve. Indeed, you will leave your mark on those communities as you have left your mark here on TC. Because of your presence, TC is richer, more diverse, and a much more beautiful space. Thank you to all of you for everything that you have given us. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce the President of Teachers College, Dr. Susan Furman.
Welcome and congratulations to the 2016 graduates of Teachers College. Many things have been done here at Teachers College for the first time. We call it our legacy of first. So almost every field in education you can think of, urban education, special education, arts education, educational psychology. I always do this long list and I leave out the field of the person sitting in front of me, but just about every field has started here. And this here is another TC first. For the first time, TC is honoring families for inspiring and supporting TC's first generation graduate students. I first want to thank the students who organized this terrific program while they were completing their classes and preparing for convocation, a very, very busy time. And I'm grateful to Vice President Janice Robinson and to Jolene Lane for providing guidance and encouragement, and to the faculty for their incredibly important part in this ceremony as well as in preparing you to reach this day. Organizing this event is one of many things I'm proud of our students and graduates for. I'm proud of them, you, every day, and I look forward to the mark you will make in your chosen fields. But today, your families are taking center stage. As part of honoring those who helped you make the journey, first-generation graduates have written thank you letters to parents and family members in the language of their choice. The letters recall the people who are always there to listen, even late at night, to provide wise counsel and moral support, and to remind you that you're going to make a difference in the world. You'll have the opportunity to hear some of those letters today. TC was founded in the late 19th century to prepare teachers to work with immigrant students and their families. At the heart of TC's philosophy was the recognition that education must build on what learners already know and reaffirm and strengthen their homes and communities. And that philosophy continues to guide us today. Our commitment to first-generation scholars is an example of this. These students, you, bring unique, valuable perspectives to this work. One of today's student organizers described first-generation scholars as occupying a space that might not have been meant for us. But your families have taught this to make this your space, to use your voices toward meaningful change. And your communities here at TC and around the world are and will be better for it. I share the pride graduates feel today. I was the first PhD in my family, but I'm also the daughter of parents who didn't finish high school. My family felt a similar pride watching me at my graduation ceremonies from high school on, including this one at TC. Some almost 40 years ago at TC. I am pleased now to introduce Professor Carmen Martinez-Roldan to share one of the letters of gratitude. Thank you, and continue to enjoy this wonderful occasion.
So hello, everyone. So this is a collective letter. So instead, there were so many letters, and we couldn't read all of them. So what the students prepared was to take from different letters and create a collective one. which was a great idea, as an activity like this and a process like this cannot be done individually. We need a group of people and support from everyone. So this is their letter addressed to their parents. Mom and Dad, gracias por todos sus sacrificios. Sé que estoy aquí gracias a todo su esfuerzo. Growing up, I never imagined getting a master's degree, and definitely not from a school like Columbia University. And yet, here I am, graduating. There is no doubt in my mind that I could have not done it without your support, your strength, your prayers, and your love. Es cierto, a veces pensé que venirme fue un error. Y sí, muchas veces me sentí sola y que ya no podía, pero siempre nomás pensaba en ustedes y me llegaban los ánimos de seguir adelante. Because of you, I stayed motivated and have made it this far in my educational journey. Por las veces que me decían, es por tu bien, por las veces que me contestaban el teléfono y era muy tarde, y aquellas en que era muy temprano. Your comforting words and condolences helped me struggle through difficulties in life while studying here in America. For anyone who ever ignorantly doubted or underestimated you or our family because of your accents or heritage as Haitian, may this degree and the change I lead bring them to silence. I want you to know that my love for you transcends the life that we live. Everything I do is motivated by the thought that one day I can provide for you and the rest of our family. So, while I may be the first one to go to college, I come from a line of dedicated, hardworking, generous, and genuinely good people, and that is what I am most proud of today. This thought keeps me humbled. And that is their letter. And so, yeah, I think that is an applause. So they asked me to add a brief comment after such powerful letter. And I just wanted first to start by congratulating you again, graduates. It is my honor to be here with you today, sharing this inspiring moment of your lives. I have had the pleasure of having some of you in my courses and of learning about your incredible experiences and rich lives. Perhaps not in material possessions, but rich in love, in perseverance, in commitment to make this world one where children and youth, especially those who come from culturally diverse and working-class families, can achieve their full potential, no matter their socioeconomic and sociocultural backgrounds. Because of your passion and resilience, you are here today. Thanks for not giving up, for keeping your academic focus, and for hoping for a better world. However, no one can achieve what you have without a great supportive network. For most of you, at the heart of that network, as you have just acknowledged, are your parents and extended family. So, dear parents and other family members, congratulations to you. I know how proud you must feel today, seeing the accomplishments of your beloved ones, graduating from Teachers College, Columbia University, achieving such great unthinkable success. Unthinkable because, as in my own family, there were so many obstacles to overcome and so many sacrifices to make. All your hard work, so many long days of working to support your family, financially and emotionally, have paid off. I know because I come from a working-class family like many of you. My mother and father, back in Puerto Rico, couldn't finish the elementary school. They were smart, but had to leave school to help their parents and their large families, and live at the poverty level in a barrio in Puerto Rico. They were shy, and my father, especially, was a man of few words. The traditional way in which parental involvement is defined in education was not the way they supported me. However, they instill in me the value of education, and my mother made sure that every day after I arrived from school and had a snack, that I sat down to complete my homework. Their advice or consejos, their example, and having food at the table were the ways they supported me. They made possible that I obtained good grades, which qualified me to receive scholarships, and with a few loans, I went to college. And now I can stand here today celebrating with you as part of the TC family. So parents, uncles, aunts, grandparents, feel proud of what you have done for your children. You can be sure that they will forever keep your encouraging words and actions in their hearts. Partners, husbands, wives, close friends, completing graduate school is a family affair. There is no way that your loved one could have been so successful without your support, your patience, your encouragement, your love. Congratulations to you also. Finally, graduates, remember your communities, here in the US and abroad. No matter how many areas of need some of our communities may suffer, they are rich on funds of knowledge, on values, on lessons that have influenced who you are today. Embrace your heritage. They make US greater. Don't forget your roots. Embrace also what you have learned at Teachers College. Hopefully, our commitment to education and social justice at TC will keep inspiring you to act as transformative agents in your future jobs and the communities you will join in. Thanks for your kindness and good heart. You inspire us and give us the energy we also need to keep fighting the good fight, to make this world a more just one, where relationships matter more than material goods, where education helps us to recognize our common humanity and the need to advance knowledge that leads us to help each other. Enjoy this day, be happy, go and change the world. Thank you.
Thank you, folks. My name is Matt Gonzalez. Obviously, I'm a master now, like my many good friends, some of my friends and doctors here of education policy. Thank you so much. I've written a speech, and I'm going to try to stick to it, but I tend to go off. Good evening. Welcome, graduates, esteemed faculty, and our wonderful friends and family. I would like to first thank Adriana Reyes and Carla Ruiz from the Coalition of Latinx Scholars. These two women organized this event and really ensured that this happened. Janice Robinson from the Office of Diversity and Community Affairs. Thanks. Jolene Lane as well. Thank you, Jolene. You're awesome. President Susan Furman, thank you for your support for this, and all other faculty in attendance. Without all of you, this event would not have been possible, and I wouldn't be standing here. I'd be at home sleeping, probably. Words cannot express my deep gratitude for this great honor. My journey through higher education has taken many twists and turns. So to stand before you today, addressing my fellow graduates and their families, someone who started higher education at a community college, a first-generation student, giving a speech at Columbia graduation, is something that I never thought was going to be in my cards. But today, as I'm reflecting on my journey at Teachers College, as I'm sure many of you have done over the past few weeks, I can't help but think of legacy. And quick shout out, this is Gladstone and Christina, because we've been doing a lot of spoken words here, and the last one was leaving a legacy. So we were sharing words about that, so I'm gonna share some words about that. So I wanna ask some questions. What will our legacy be? What impact have we made in our time here? And what impact will we make on this world? Before we answer these hard questions, I think it's important to consider those that came before us, those that have paved the walkway for us to travel. Coming to a place like Columbia can be a bit of a culture shock, particularly for first generation and other diverse students. To put it bluntly, this is a rich white institution. We hear our stories told in classrooms as if we were no longer a part of our community. We talk of the inequality and racial achievement gaps as if we are not products of these structures. We are taught to conform to an ideal of success an ideal that sees our families and our ancestors through a deficit lens. We do not see ourselves and our families depicted accurately in the hallways, nor in the literature. And we only see ourselves reflected in a very small number of faculty. So I want to acknowledge the faculty here that support us, that empower us, and challenge us to be our authentic selves, as Dr. Chris Emden is always reminding us. The list is long, so instead of wasting time listing everyone's name, which wouldn't be a waste of time, but I would like to ask all of our faculty members just to stand up and wave and be recognized so we can give you all a round of applause for supporting us. Your guidance and support has made our time here powerful. You've shaped our ideas and challenged us to think and see beyond ourselves. And perhaps most importantly, your presence at this institution and your authenticity affirms that we do belong here. So thank you. A major piece of belonging to a place has to do with the people you surround yourself with. And looking around this room, I see not just friends and colleagues, I see allies and partners in the fight for justice. I see squad, I see my family. I see leaders, I see disruptors, and I see innovators. We have led this institution. We have disrupted this institution, and we have innovated this institution together. We've shared our stories through spoken word, and we've built lifelong friendships over free wine. Kind of free. It's not really free. We paid for it. And despite our professional and academic directions, we are all connected in our identities and passion for justice. So I tell you, my fellow graduates, what I told a dear friend of mine recently. He's a musician who is making some very revolutionary music. I said, we fight for justice using different tools, but we are on the same battlefield in the same war. Keep bringing that dope shit. Pardon my language. I want you all to keep bringing that dope shit. So as you're looking for your next journey, be that a job or further education, I ask you to consider a couple of things before you ride off into the sunset. Number one, represent. Never forget who you came here to represent and who you will represent after leaving. Never forget your journey, the journeys of those that came before us and those that will come after us. Number two, keep your squad. Who will keep you accountable? Who will push you to challenge yourself? We are a gang of scholars right now. It is our responsibility to each other and those who we represent to keep ourselves humble and to keep each other humble. Number three, change the story. We are rewriting the story they tell about us right now. We have opened doors for our families and our communities, and will go into the world and open more doors. We are making history today. If we stay together and do the previous two things, I'm sure we will continue to make history. I would like to end with a poem by David Foster Wallace. There are these two young fish swimming along, and they happen to meet an older fish swimming the other way, who nods at them and says, "Morning, boys, how's the water?" And the two young fish swim on for a bit, and then eventually one of them looks over at the other and goes, "What the hell is water?" The most important realities are often the ones that are hardest to see. Take a moment to see the water. This is the water. Your friends and family here supporting you. This is who you represent, and this is the water. The work you have done over the past 2 years, the coalitions we've formed, this is your squad, and this is the water. Don't get so caught up thinking about your legacy that you forget to leave one. Change the story. This is the water, and it's time for us to swim. So in the words of a famous warrior, my watch is ended. Thanks.
I'm Professor Barbara Wallace, and I am absolutely delighted to be able to extend to you a deeply heartfelt congratulations to all of you, and to the family, and to the professors. I'm going to begin by reading this letter. I am here because of you. I am here because of your sacrifices, your support, your love. I never would have gotten here without all of you. I know that God's blessings in my life are abundant, primarily through the people he placed in it. It was because of your support and love that I was able to go after those dreams. I dedicate this degree to you for all the sacrifice, pain, and tears, and for giving me the opportunities you never had. It's a debt I can never repay. But I hope that my hard work and dedication honors you. We come together this week to celebrate graduation, but I want to celebrate us as a family and our new accomplishments. Thank you for believing in me, encouraging me, and cheering me to the finish line. You make me strong. I'm reminded of a graduation around 2001, I believe, where I went on the steps of the cathedral to take photographs. And that year I had 3 graduates. And as we gathered and as I was introduced to their parents, I had a profound realization because none of the parents spoke English. And I realized the magnitude of what those students had accomplished in completing, in their case, a doctoral dissertation in a tongue, English, that was not the first tongue, the first language to roll off of their lips. That is deep when you consider, I'm thinking even of an assistant professor I recently was talking with, and she is a 4th generation professors. And I said, oh, maybe that's why she doesn't really empathize with the work I do sometimes. You know? I was once told by a colleague that they should put, a certain motto on my door. What does it say on the Statue of Liberty? Give me your tired, your weary, your poor, when the huddled masses yearning to be free. So those are the students that I work with the deepest love and respect. However, I do suspect that I may be having some luck because of the ancestors from China and Japan and Africa and Haiti and Jamaica and Kenya, all over the world, who I think are grateful because I was able to assist their great-great-great-grandchildren and grandchildren and children in being the first to get a degree. I had one student who, in her joy for graduating, said to me, do you realize that I stood at the bed of my dying grandfather and I told him, I promised him I was going to get a doctorate. And at that point, I had no idea how, what, when, where, what it would involve. Going all the way back to my very first teaching post in 1987 at John Jay College of Criminal Justice, to help the students to appreciate the challenge that they were facing. I used to go to the blackboard. We used to use chalk back then, by the way. And I would actually draw bricks, okay? And then, kind of like this, except they're bricks. And then I would draw one brick that was sticking up that was a vertical brick, and I would tell them, you are a vertical brick. You are a vertical brick. Not like the 4th generation professor, not like the families where there have been lawyers and doctors and PhDs and EDDs and master's degrees going back 5, 6, 7 generations. But they were a vertical brick, and you are a vertical brick, and I am a vertical brick because I did something that had not been done before. And so although we have acknowledged the support that family provides and that you all have provided each other, you still have to appreciate what it's like to be that brick that's sticking up vertically, not horizontal, not having that foundation of support. And so never forget that when you had those stressful nights and you cried, or you put your head in your pillow when you said, how am I going to do this? Or I guess today you text somebody and you and you use, mojos. Yeah. Or whatever they're called. What are they called? Mojo, okay. That you have to appreciate that you are doing something and that you have done something where you did not have the kind of support that so many have taken for granted. I remember when, and my parents had a couple of master's degrees, teachers in Philadelphia, but I was the first one to get a doctorate. And so, you're telling them things like oral defense of the dissertation. They're just on the phone silent. They don't know what you're talking about. And so you just break it down. It's time to give me a party, That they could master. That was right along the lines of what they could do with all of their love. I have to be a little bit honest, despite the fact that Susan's here and I should edit my remarks. And that is that I'm kind of in shock. This is my 26th year here. I think I've been here longer than all the other faculty. And when I came here in 1990 and had to deal with things in 1994 that involved, kind of hateful acts with colleagues. And then in 1998, there was these racist emails going along, and I kind of started a revolution at Teachers College. And one day in February, there was an email that said there have been 12,000 emails sent in response to one that I had sent out, and we're thinking about shutting down the internet. And I asked them, have you consulted your lawyers? And of course, they kept the internet going. And we ended up making a series of kind of requests. I guess we didn't call them demands. And one of them was that there be an Office of Diversity and Community. And there was actually a senior member of the administration who was coming to our luncheon meetings that we were holding in the cafeteria that spring of 1999. I played on the theme of, why are they all sitting together in the cafeteria? So I held these cafeteria lunchtime meetings, and they were really like focus groups, and it led to kind of describing the climate of Teachers College and making recommendations. And there's this one woman who came, and she said, I was originally sent to this meeting to spy for the administration. But my boss recently called me an uppity nigger, so I'm now switching sides. And she said that she had been to spy. And she insisted that when we were asking for someone who would be in a new Office of Diversity and Community, that they be at the level of a vice president. It took 10 years to get there, but we can thank Susan for finally making Janice Robinson a vice president. So, for so many years, I was kind of walking around disillusioned and a little bit angry, and holding in mind, though, this vision of the kind of Teachers College we needed to create. And now I'm kind of looking at that, and I'm kind of in shock. I'm delighted that I've been able to nurture Adriana and support her as someone in my program. I'm delighted that we were able to recruit her to our doctoral program. I'm even happier that I had a measly 6 points I was able to give her. Yes, you need more. And this is the first year of my 26 years here that in my particular program and department, I've had a colleague of color that I had to hire, by the way, which is the first Latina adjunct professor, Dr. Mariana Vergara. And now I've got to figure out what it means to have a colleague and how to work with a colleague and how to love and interact with my colleague, which is a wonderful new challenge to have. But there was a time when every other faculty of color across the college had a colleague except me. But I guess I'm used to being alone. I was the first African-American woman to move through the ranks and get tenure in the 100-year history of the college, doing so in 1994. And of course, there had been stars that had come in with tenure, like Linda Darlene Hammond. And of course, you know, there's different ways that the college counts 100 years, but in 1994, it was 100 years in Morningside Heights. So as a vertical brick who envisioned beautiful faces such as yours, beautiful faces like Stefan from Haiti, that I'm in a little shock, but I have to acknowledge that dreams do come true. And I want to urge all of you to realize the power of holding in mind an image of whatever it is that you dream of. Adriana has been bold in her vision, along with her colleague, Carla. And I challenge you in leaving here to not just be what I have been in the past at times, angry and bitter, because, you know, I celebrated being the first African-American woman to move through the ranks to get tenure, but after 5 years, I was like, this is depressing, because nothing has happened since then. But this is a bumper crop year with 3 African-American women becoming full professors. Who would have thought? So remain open to the possibility that you indeed have the power to manifest reality, because you are the manifestation of a reality that others before you dreamed of and envisioned. So whatever it is that you're dreaming, know that it may take 26 years, it may take 500 years, it may take 2 years, but hold in mind with a bold faith and a bold vision the harmony, the interdependence, the collaboration, the genuine support and love that we need to create the society where we finally get the love, respect, and appreciation that we have always deserved, that our great-great-great-grandparents deserved, that the indigenous people of the world deserved when the stranger stepped foot on their shores. And so you represent the victory of your ancestors. And so it has to be with a humility and a gratitude that you acknowledge what they envisioned and what they prayed for, because you are only sitting here because of that vision and because of those prayers, and you have an obligation to pray and envision for those who are your best friends from high school who got caught up in all sorts of things and are not here. You pray for them because they still have a potential. Professor Fully Love, my colleague, goes to a prison upstate New York every Monday, and he's on a mission for more and more of those who get released to go to places like this. And you know what he says? They are better students than the ones he teaches at Columbia because they appreciate it, and they don't take anything for granted, and they do all the reading. All of it. So don't write off your friends and best friends who are incarcerated, who are temporarily addicted to Oxycontin and heroin. You pray and envision a future for them and for their children and your children and for the generations to come. Thank you very much for your patience.
Before you clap for me, let's clap one more time for Dr. Wallace, who's just so extremely dope. Okay, now you can clap for me again. Introduce me. Okay, thank you. It's my time. It's my time. Thank you so much for inviting me to be here today. I am humbled to be addressing you today, an alumni. That's a soon-to-be confirmed alumni. I'm waiting on one more credit. Only the Lord and one professor knows, but I have faith. Of Teachers College, Columbia University, with a Master's of Science degree in Neuroscience and Education. They don't tell you what to do with the tassel. The thing just sort of kind of gets in your face. Diversity. The beauty of celebrating and including the cornucopia of differences included but not limited to culture, race, class, gender identity, religious affiliation, socioeconomic status, abilities, strengths, weaknesses, and so many other unique characteristics. I think that since starting here at TC, everyone in this room, myself included, learned much about this word. We've heard it spewed at us in our research, our student organization meetings, recruitment, admissions, and so many other places. I'm really grateful that I had the opportunity to speak about diversity with such esteemed colleagues as well as lovely faculty here at Teachers College. I want to take a moment to shout out some really great professors that have really inspired me to stand before you today. First and foremost, Dr. Yolanda Sealey-Ruiz. For those that took teaching English in diverse social and cultural environments, know that she probes you to really get to understand who you are as a person so that you can be the best educator you can be. She has really encouraged me to look down deep inside myself to figure out who I am as a young man and who I want to become as an educator. I am eternally grateful. I love you too. Dr. Christopher Emden, big brother in the academy, who also found out today is his birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Okay, I didn't know when to stop. But Dr. Emden pulled me aside last semester after he saw me one day, and he could see in my face that I had a horrible day. And he began to talk to me about my experiences working with a student at the school site that I currently work at still, who had been going through a lot of social and emotional problems. And I was taking it to heart, and it really, really concerned me. And the next day at the spoken word event, shout out to Gladstone, Christina, he came up to me and he said, I was really concerned about you last night. I prayed for you. To have a black faculty, a black male faculty at Teachers College, Columbia University come up to me and say that is the most humbling experience I have ever had. Thank you, Dr. Christopher Emden. And to my most favorite, Dr. Felicia Mensah. Somebody who reached out to me at an Office of Diversity and Community Affairs event, the bridge program for getting young black men into doctoral programs, who said, come by my office and bring me the research that you did from undergrad. Me not knowing anything about it, just came and dropped this ugly little, my undergrad thesis, and she demolished it, marked it up with red, but how else are we supposed to grow? How else are we supposed to learn if somebody isn't critical of us and pushes us to become better? Dr. Mensah gave me an Arthur Zenko Fellowship while I was here. She encouraged me, she inspired me. She encouraged me to present research at the Diversity and Research Practice Conference, and she has been the greatest mentor I've had thus far. I'm eternally grateful, Dr. Felicia Mensah. Getting back into my talk on diversity. Yeah. So we've heard it spewed at us in our research, our student organization meetings, recruitment, admissions, and so many other places. But let me remind you, before our lessons on diversity, before we were inspired by the works of Milner, Coates, Alexander, critical race theory, or Paulo Freire, and so many others, someone had to instill in us our morals, the drive, the thirst, and love and want for a better tomorrow. Look behind you, graduates. Look at them smiling, basking in the glory of what they think is a day about us. But no, Our hard work is only the beautiful finishings of a generationally strong foundation. We are only here because they so willfully and graciously lifted us as they climbed. Thank you, parents. To my own personal cornerstone, the greatest fan of my life, do you know, Mama? I always have and I always will. Back to diversity. It has been said so many times that we may have become desensitized to its meaning. The word diversity should have the same impact on you as it did when the hyenas from the Lion King said Mufasa. It said Mufasa. Diversity should inspire us. It should still give you the life that you need, just like when Kendrick dropped To Pimp a Butterfly, or Beyonce gave us that first gulp of lemonade with Formation at the Super Bowl. It should still inspire those of us like it inspired us when we walked through the halls of TC in the streets of New York City, believing and chanting, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. It should still inspire us because diversity is synonymous with all these things. These movements here at TC and the world around us are about diversity and the need for marginalized groups to be fought for, celebrated, and included. Today I share the words of the marginalized to celebrate and include them in the beauty that is the inaugural, and I'm claiming it, first annual TC Diversity graduation. I'm looking specifically at you, Nana and Carla. I'm still working on the R. Por mis Latina y Latino hermanas y hermanos. Si se puede y lo hará. Yes, we can and we will. When I look around at all of us, we can, we have, and we shall continue. We've done so much since we've been here at TC. The Coalition of Latino and Latina Scholars, the Black Student Network, Friends of Japan, all of these beautiful student organizations and beautiful people here at TC have led us to become great people. Let us continue to move with that network and let us to continue to enjoy each other. Thank you so much. I love y'all. I'm still not done yet. Y'all gonna sit down. For my Haitian brothers and sisters, sa ou fait, Sealey-Ruiz. What you do is what you see. Graduates, what you do is what you see. What are you gonna plant? What seed are you gonna put into the ground? What are you gonna cultivate? What are you going to do? Will it grow into a tree? Will it grow into some fruit-bearing bush? Will it eventually lead to something that you can be proud of? Will it lead to a legacy like it has here at TC today? To my brothers and sisters of Queer TC, never doubt that a small group of committed people can change the world. It's the only group that ever has. Thank you so much for teaching me about what it means to be a part of Queer TC, to be an ally to those who are in need, to understand what it means to be marginalized as a member of the LGBTQ community. I sincerely appreciate all that you guys have given me. If Allah helps you, no one can overcome you. If he forsakes you, who is there? After that, that can help you. In Allah, then, let believers put their trust. Verse 3, 160 of the Holy Quran. What then shall we say to these findings? If God is for us, then who can be against us? Romans chapter 8, verse 31. My brothers and sisters of Islam and Christianity, keep the faith and acknowledge respect of each other. We are not so different, and know in who you believe in taking care of your responsible for your trials, tribulations, and most importantly, your victories. And last but certainly not least, in the words of the new Negro spiritual by Pastor Kendrick Lamar, we gonna be all right. Remember to celebrate, include, and understand the perspectives, differences of so many people. Diversity, let it continue to inspire our work and who we are as people. Thank you.
So I'm here again to read excerpts from letters that were given. So please be patient. I get very nervous, but I'm also very excited for all of the graduates. And so as I read this letter, just think back to happy memories and happy thoughts of love that are sent to you from your family. I have learned that I matter. I have learned that even in adverse situations, one can find happiness. You taught me that. You taught me that in order to move past these things, I needed to get past myself. I would not have been able to do this had it not been for you and what you taught me. Thank you. Oftentimes, I need to step away from a situation to realize the ways in which it truly has affected me and the work that I do. Needless to say, this affected me. You have given me the greatest gift, the gift of education. With that gift, you have taught me the responsibility that comes with it to serve others. Because of this, I am confident that this degree is more than just a piece of paper. It is for you, it is for us. You have all contributed to my education in more ways than you'll ever know. You have taught me so much. I can only stand to say thank you, and for you, and for what you have given to me. As much as I love studying, it doesn't mean much in my life without the presence of love and community. I love you. So I was also asked to give some comments, and so my comments will be very brief, but I'm just filled with pride. I'm overflowing with joy and happiness for all of the graduates and for all of the family members and all of the friends. And it has been such a blessing for me to get to know you, some that I have met very formally and worked closely with, and for those informally. I appreciate so much all that you have done for Teachers College and also for the communities in which you're from. So today is a great occasion to celebrate you, your family, and your friends. But it's a greater occasion to take what you have learned and to give it back to community through service and love. I hope your service professionally, educationally, and for your family and your community will allow you to dream bigger, because your gifts will make room for you. So use them. Congratulations to you again, to your families, to your friends, to your community, and to the many lives that I know that you will touch. And also from Teachers College, we're so very proud of you. All the best, and thank you.
Thank you so very much for the honor of inviting me to address your families and for asking me to share my thoughts on being a first-generation professor in the academy and some of the successes and challenges along the way in this journey. So my few minutes, I actually have a hope and a prayer tonight that something I say will be uplifting for you this evening and sustenance for you as you journey into your life after TC. My husband excitedly said to me the other day, "You have to listen to Tyler Perry's speech at Tuskegee, his graduation speech." So we sat down the other day, and we were listening to Tyler Perry speak. And then, the little thing circles around, and it said, "Okay, Steve Harvey is now going to speak at Alabama State University." We were like, okay, we're going to relax today. So we listened to Steve Harvey speak. And then I was listening to a bit of Obama's speech at Rutgers as well. And I said to my husband, I don't really know what I'm going to say. Do I really have anything to say that someone hasn't already said before? And he said, they had their stories, and you have your stories. And everyone in here has a story that they can share with someone about how they made it here. And so first of all, in beginning to share this story, I want to talk about a student who came to me a couple of weeks ago. And the student came to me and he asked me to be on his dissertation committee. And I said to him, you haven't been working at the level of brilliance that I know is inside of you. And he agreed with me. And he went on to tell me what has dimmed that level of brilliance here at TC. And I have to say, I'm really saddened sometimes to know the ways in which we dim the brilliance of our first-generation students, of all of our students. And so I want to talk about why I said yes. And why I said yes takes me back to what we're doing today, is honoring our families. Tara Yasso calls it community cultural wealth. And we may not have had that term before we read it here in graduate school, but we had it. Our families gave it to us. They gave us what she calls that aspirational capital, that desire to be better, to have better, to live a quality life. And for me, part of that capital that my family gave me was faith. So no matter what religious institution you might go to or how your faith is engendered, that faith has allowed me to stay on this journey all these many years, because they taught me that God would never leave me nor forsake me. As many of you know, you've had challenges and successes. What anchors you when those challenges come your way? So, for some of you who may be in the pre-service program graduating, I have to let you know, my student teaching experience, my cooperating teacher told me I failed at being a good student teacher. I went home crying, but I had my family and I had my faith, and I knew I was supposed to be a teacher. So the only placement they could still get me was in the Amish community in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So I learned about a community I knew absolutely nothing about, but whose parents and families, just like all of us in here, want the best for their children. I then went on, as many of you know, to Oakland, California, and I was like, woohoo, yeah. And in Oakland, I too was saddened once again to see the ways in which we were not supporting our youth to have access to a wide range of college opportunities. And so I really wanted to understand, what were teacher education programs doing that really supported teachers to be able to work with all kinds of students, specifically first-generation students, immigrant students, students who come from what some people say low-income communities. So I went off to UCLA. And at UCLA, we were considered the largest student class in my program of students of color, first-generation students. There were 13 in that group. And one of the professors said after the first year, she said, you know, it's really hard to rank all of you. So we didn't even know they were trying to put us in first, second, third, fourth, fifth place, and who was actually the best. And she went on to say, you all must have been stars wherever you came from, because we can't figure out a way to rank you. What they didn't know was many of those first-generation students of color had banded together and said we were going to support each other no matter what. So it wasn't about being in competition with each other. It was about how could we support each other to get through our programs. The other thing that happened at UCLA for me that was pivotal, that enabled me to resonate with the group, the SQE group, was at that time, they were willing to get rid of affirmative action in California. And as many of you know, those certification exams were coming up that I had to sit for. And the march was during that time period. And the fear of what the professors were saying, how can she go out and march? She needs to be studying for her exams. And the other fear was, as many of you may know, was down there where they took pictures of Angela Davis and talking about SWAT and always thinking about the police are coming. What if I do march? What if I go out there and the police start taking pictures of me and one day I want to be something and they bring all those pictures out? So the fear grips you when you want to take action for justice. And so at that time I decided if I did not march, there may not be people who look like me at UCLA. And so I needed to march. And so what the Students for Quality Education group did for me again is to know that it enables us as professors to have faith and hope. Because I was worried that the students weren't going to rise up. I was worried that Black Lives Matter didn't matter inside TC. I was worried that people really didn't care if the curriculum changed or not. And so I want to say for the SQE group how thankful I am as a professor that you rose up and took action during what I know many of you were taking exams. So thank you. In the, what they asked me to talk about in challenges and successes, like who has helped you, we've talked a lot about mentors already, but I want to say something that happened with my first mentor in the academy. She was a great mentor as a graduate student, but I felt she didn't prepare me for being in the academy. So I saw her at a conference one day, and I said to her, "Why didn't you tell me it was going to be this hard?" And she said to me, "Michelle, I thought if you really knew the challenges of being a professor in the academy, you might not want to continue." And I thought to myself, she really didn't know me very well, because I would rather know and be armed to be able to face those challenges than not know. So what I want to say to you tonight as you leave here is, with the blessings do come great challenges. But I also want to say with those challenges, people come, we would say in the olden days, out of the woodwork to help and support you. So some of my challenges here in the academy that have been extremely difficult, I have to tell you, professors in other departments came from I didn't even know they were concerned about me. I had no idea they wanted me to succeed here. Because every mentor, every person supporting you may not be up in your face supporting you. They may be behind some closed doors trying to make sure you make it. So I want to thank my other colleagues here who I know have made me able to make it here. And I want to say to you, as I think our last student speaker, Aaron, was just saying about the different mentors he had, I want to talk to you, just have a multiple mentor model. Like one person may be able to give you one thing on your job or wherever you're going after here, but another person is going to give you something else. But when we look for it to be all in one person, sometimes we miss opportunities that we can have and receive from other people that we may not know are willing to support us. So I want to go back to that student who asked me, would I be a committee member? And I challenged him that we wanted to support that brilliance within him. And what made me say yes was that he wanted to find that brilliance again. And I want to say, all of you are brilliant. If someone tries to dim that brilliance, find the people who will keep it alive, wherever you go. And it may be unexpected people. So I just want to say thank you for this honor. It's fabulous seeing all of you. Absolutely fabulous. Thank you.
So we can't. Mike, what's up? Just a little bit. So we can't thank you enough for being here. I know that a lot of you came from really far. A lot of you took a lot of time off from work, from school, from life to be here with us. So we really just wanted to say thank you. So before we get started, my name is Sealey-Ruiz. Go ahead.
I'm Adriana Reyes, or Nana, as Aaron so nicely put. Shout out to our families from California and Mexico that came out.
And we just want to preface that what we're about to share with you is in Spanish and English, but because we do not know more languages, I promise you we would have done it if we did. But if you don't understand it, just feel it, because this is why we're here. So, go ahead.
Good evening.
Buenas tardes. This event began as a conversation about who has been influential in helping us traverse this graduate experience. Este evento comenzó como una conversación entre nosotros acerca de quién nos ha ayudado a atravesar esta experiencia.
Sin duda alguna, la lista es tan larga de mencionar, puesto que extiende más de nuestras familias presentes. Without a doubt, the list got a little too long, especially because it included individuals beyond our family members.
This is for you. Esto es para ti.
Historia, comunidad, familia, legado. History, family, community, and legacy.
Ustedes son nosotros, nosotros somos ustedes. We are you, and you are us.
Gracias por sus esfuerzos. Thank you for your struggles.
Por su sabiduría, for your wisdom,
For your patience, por su paciencia.
y sobre todo por habernos ayudado a llegar aquí. And most importantly, for helping us get here today.
To my fellow graduates, always remember, we haven't mastered anything yet. We've only gained access to people and places that you may not have had the opportunity to prior. It is your responsibility to use it wisely and serve those who have yet to gain this privilege.
Just like everyone's been saying, remember to stay humble. I ask you, what are you ready to build? What is the change that you want to see?
For many, we may have just been a quota to fill.
But for others, including those that are here for you, we were the ones who made it. So we again wanted to say thank you. We wanted to really appreciate your presence here today, for everything that you've given us, for everything that you told us, for everything that you hid from us, because we weren't ready. So thank you. And because we wanted to honor our families in the way that we did, we wanted to bring up Professor Ernest Morel, who's going to share a little bit of what we hope you were able to gain from this. So thank you.
Good evening. All right, everyone's warmed up. Thank you again, Adriana and Carla, for your amazing leadership in this event. Thank you, Janice and Jolene, for your help in supporting this. And thank you to all of you students for everything that you brought to us this year. I totally agree with Felicia. You really brought it to the campus, and we will not forget you. Hopefully, to all the family out there, you were warned by your graduates that you were going to be called on and asked to stand up. Right? We're going to honor you. In just a moment, I'm going to share a quick story because I think my story is your story, and why it is so important to honor family, and even for the graduates, what you'll come to learn over time. The last time I saw my grandmother was at my graduation for my PhD degree. And this is important because 50 years to the day before I walked onto campus at UC Berkeley as a doctoral student, my grandmother set foot on UC Berkeley's campus as a domestic. And she did not share that story with me until I went as a graduate student. She said, I went through the back door of that institution so that one day someone in my family could go through the front door. My grandmother raised 9 children, right? My grandmother raised 9 children on her own because her husband died because a hospital would not admit him. My mother and her siblings say they never saw her cry. She took the swing shift. We lived on the same block. She took the swing shift, worked from 2 in the afternoon to 10 at night so she could babysit us in the morning so our parents could go to work. Now, when I was finishing my degree, I knew my grandmother was sick. And she said she was going to hold on, right? Because no one in our family since the Middle Passage had gotten a doctoral degree. The only and first time I saw my grandmother cry was that evening. And I thought I understood what it meant to be a family member. That degree was her degree, not mine. I thought I understood. 20 years later, I'm only beginning to understand, like, whose shoulders we stand on, right? These are our moments, but these are your degrees, right? This is for you. This is for all of our grandmothers, for all of our uncles, our sisters, our older brothers, people working the swing shift, people working night jobs to send you a little bit of money while they skip meals. This is for you. So what I'd like for the graduates to do is, if you can, stand and turn around, and let's give a standing ovation to these family members who've come out. Thank you. All right, so now this is what we'll do. For each of the students, I will say, we honor the family of, and I'll say that student's name, and I would like for you to stand and be honored by all of us. I think Professor Wallace said, tonight we're all family. So I'd like to start by saying we honor the family of Isabella Anderson. We honor the family of Noana Bazil. We honor the family tonight of Christine Bell. Tonight we honor the family of Jorge Beltran. Tonight we honor the family of Mache Chase. Tonight we honor the family of Yifei Chen. Tonight we honor the family of Catherine Cho. Tonight we honor the family of Michael Dorselli. Tonight we honor the family of Fatima Duran. Tonight we honor the family of Jennifer Etienne. Tonight we honor the family of Matthew Gonzalez. Tonight we honor the family of Lauren Elizabeth Johnson. Tonight we honor the family of Hyo-Jen Kim. Tonight we honor the family of Stephanie Labassiere. Tonight we honor the family of Rodolfo Laredo. Tonight we honor the family of Jadalyn Martinez. Tonight we honor the family of Joseph Mathews. Making sure I don't forget anyone here. Okay. Tonight we honor the family of Maritza Morales Gracia. Tonight we honor the family of Aaron Neal. Tonight we honor the family of Yasmin Nunez. Tonight we honor the family of Samuel Ortiz. Tonight we honor the family of Portia Patterson. I like that. Is that a horn? It's like this, what is it, South Africa, the World Cup when they had the, yeah, that's what it is, right? Awesome, all right. Of course it's from California, from Oakland. Tonight we honor the family of Jason Pedraza. Tonight we honor the family of Luis Plasencia. Tonight we honor the family of Amrita Rahi. Tonight we honor the family of Adriana Reyes. Nice. All right, top that, the rest of you families. It's got a flag, some horns. It's not bad. Tonight we honor the family of Atenea Rosado. Tonight we honor the family of Carla Ruiz. Tonight we honor the family of Bernalyn Ruiz. Tonight we honor the family of Albion Somrel. Tonight we honor the family of Cynthia Ubilla. Tonight we honor the family of Cristina Urbano. Tonight we honor the family of Patrick Williamson. Tonight we honor the family of Parkorn Wangsiri. Tonight we honor the family of Tiffany Williams. Tonight we honor the family of William Garcia. Tonight we honor the family of Gifty Ajapong. Tonight we honor the family of George Nartui. Tonight we honor the family of Zachary Millington. Tonight we honor the family of Victoria Bell. Tonight we honor the family of Reedy Thacker. So I want to make sure before we have the graduate exit that we haven't left anyone's name off. Thank you once again for coming, and let's give one last hand to all the graduates and their families.
Boy, you should know that I've got you on my mind.